This is Overtime Inside Fantasy Sports of 401. Randall The Handle, Matthew Cause. I'm Gareth Wheeler,
Yes,
and looking in the paper, as I do each and every Friday. It's Randall The Handle and his weekly picks. And look in this section right here. It's his best bets, and I'm looking at it. And I see a picture of Michael Vick over here, but Randall, you do not like the Eagles this week. You prefer taking the points on the Giants.
Well, the Michael Vick loving is getting a little too much, and I think it's affecting the team. I mean, all week, even this morning, they were being interviewed about the game on Monday night. And, you got to focus on the Giants, and it's not going to be an easy task. The Giants still have the #1 defense in the NFL. They know Vick. I think
I can't believe they're your best bet. I can't believe the Giants are your best bet. Now, I'm not allowed to do this on the 411.
no,
I'm not allowed to do this. I'm going to come out and say it right now.
Shame.
Bet against the Giants. Cha-ching. Here's the problem. Is everyone talks about how great the Giants pass rush is. But the Giants pass rush, it's either 4 or 5, 6 sacks, or it's squadoosh. No sacks at all. And Michael Vick can get out of this sort of trouble. He can get away. And again, the receivers right now are locked in with Vick. I love the Eagles in this game. This is not a reverse jinx. Right now, to me, Philadelphia is the most dangerous team in the National.
Pass the phone. I want to double my bet on the Giants.
Yeah, oh, how dare you,
Because
sir.
of that.
Yeah, I know, I'm sorry, but if you look at this one, just in terms of the matchups right now, also Steve Smith is out for the Giants. You can roll your coverage on Akeem Nicks. I'm sorry, but the Eagles should be clearly the favorite.
A lot of talk is surrounded, once again, not just Michael Vick, but Andy Reid's career record after the bye week. And is this just one of those things where the Eagles are going to build momentum and be a favorite all the way to the playoffs, where they'll obviously crash and burn, Randall?
You know what? The Eagles have won 4 games with Michael Vick. 3 of them were against weaker teams, Jacksonville, Washington, and somebody who doesn't come to mind. But now they got to face a top team. And the Giants are a tremendous underdog.
Detroit Lions. That was it.
Thank you very much.
Not a problem.
Who qualifies in that group. So, go up against the Giants, lay some points against them. Let's see what happens.
What about survivor pools? Very quickly, a lot of people were recommending the Giants last week. Cause, intelligently enough, recommended Tampa Bay and said that was the team you roll with. Yeah. I'm looking at the Kansas City Chiefs this week because I love the Chiefs as a home team, and I love any team taking on the Arizona Cardinals. They're just a terrible football team.
They really are, but to me, the worst team in the league by far, easily, are the Carolina Panthers. They are not NFL caliber right now. They just aren't. They have no running backs. They have no quarterbacks. They have young receivers. One of them's out. They're awful. Offensively, they cannot compete. The Ravens coming off a loss. Baltimore, if you have them available.
I'm assuming that most people have already taken Baltimore for a survivor pool. But yeah, as a general rule of thumb, any team playing against Carolina, that's the team to take. Again, Brian St. Pierre, that guy sounds like a porn star. That doesn't sound like an NFL quarterback to me. They're a horrible team. They're worse than the Bills. They're worse than the Lions. Yeah, anyone playing Carolina, that's your bet for survivor.
One more game I want to touch on is the Dallas Cowboys, because obviously there's a lot of Cowboys fans everywhere. They're at home this week. They're 2-7, taking on the 2-7 Detroit Lions. And I wonder if people will get a little bit too high on the Cowboys based upon what they did last week, Randall.
That's very possible. We know this league can be week to week, of course, and the Lions have been a tremendous moneymaker. They're a very good underdog, and they do have talented players on the field. So, this should be a tougher game. I mean, Dallas really got up. They had the whole Jason Garrett hype, new coach. They figured to temper that a little bit, and Detroit, I think, will be ready to give them a game.
I like Dallas. Again, part of it's just I didn't like Wade Phillips, Jason Garrett. I think, again, he brings a calming influence, and what he does is he brings accountability to the Dallas Cowboys. So I actually like them. And listen, you lose to the Buffalo Bills, I'm not going to take you the next week. I
think it was staggering the fact that Michael Jenkins of the Dallas Cowboys said last week, Jason Garrett's first week in charge was the first week he had brought a playbook to practice the entire season to any team meeting. That is astounding, just how piss poor Wade Phillips was as a head coach of that football team. You can catch Randall The Handle and the boys each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. It's Inside the Lines, the finest NFL pregame show out there, television or radio.
Why, thank you very much.